So I have time to spare because, as you guys know, I wake up at the crack of noon. At a Actually, what I'm honoring in this phase presently is that there's very like little patterns other than just ebbs and flows of energy. So I went to bed at 6 last night, and I was up at about midnight, maybe close to 1 o'clock, and then I just started sharing and doing what was coming through. Hey, Chica, how are you? And then I felt on flow to my cards being collected today. So this is the last of my red little up, my little yuppie VW up, which served me well for the duration that I've had it. So that's being collected at 9:30. So I felt like using up the petrol. Plus, I live quite like remotely, so it just legit takes like 45 minutes to drive to the local store, which was a good excuse just to use up a little bit of the petrol before I give this car back to the people that are collecting it on Volkswagen Finance's behalf. And so yeah, I felt like I literally am here early. Like I'm here before the big corporate shop turns on, and just felt like saying, "Yo, hey, what's going on, you guys?" like, um, I'm definitely feeling like the energies are lifting. Yes, Scott. Morning habits. Yeah, for sure. I the energies are amplifying. Like there's greater clarity, there's greater like high vibration feelings coming through, a lot of like love feelings, a lot of like deep knowing that even though there's like these fear triggers or like abandonment, rejection, like there's no bother trying feelings that are washing through, like deeper still and more dominantly still, there's just this feeling of joy and ease, and like everything's just going to start kind of like going different than the worry, than the old patterns of like disappointment and fear and worry, because we really have been doing the inner work. There's so much affirmation and synchronicity around the efficacy of doing the inner work, and a generational shift, and a huge demographic of pockets of the global population that are really anchoring in new paradigm shift energies, right? So there's still a lot, obviously, beyond the veil in such a way, and yet the sensitives, like the empaths and stuff, we're really starting to feel the surge. And now that as we're coming out more, we're meeting the like minds and like spirits that have been sort of on similar journeys and paths where it's like it just feels like the next wave. And I keep getting these like hardcore like the 60s, like this resurge of loving and revolutionary activity, but again from an even more aware and a collectively grounded level, because the connecting of the dots is a big part of the amplification of the resonance. And then there's still brilliant, exactly, and then we can resonate that to feel that more, and just it helps us to all kind of drop into that trust in the divine, basically, like just the knowingness that there's so much in us and beyond us, and like these dreams and these, thanks John, these dreams and these heartfelt expressions that we carry and that we've been yoking and working with, that's really on, like it's happening, and hence I guess the responsibility and or the desire to keep sharing and continue to have the divine reflections and to anchor it and to ground it, and to feel the presence of it, because even just getting like feeling the energy lifting this morning and then dropping down into meditation, and funnily just being not fun, like just legit the norm, being in this space of like, what am I meant to do right now? Like what's coming in, it just, it's just basically like staying in this peaceful knowingness. And then whenever we get swept away in the emotion, to come back to that center and work with it, Thanks, thanks, divine sight. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because it's like being what you wish to see in the world, right? So what I felt I was missing in the world was seeing the shadow shit, seeing like the 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 not, again, kind of overly glamorized messaging, and or male dominated messaging, without that being any kind of dig, but being honest about the underlying resentments and stuff that I, as a woman in the world, carry sometimes when I see men speaking the same language, and or privileged people speaking the same language, knowing, knowing that there's all these like subtleties in the feeling body, and knowing deeply so that it's our feeling resonances that are creating our reality with our thoughts. But knowing my own journey, when I wasn't going deep enough into the emotional field because of fear and shame and all that shit, there's so much stored up in us. There's so much energy stored up in us. Hence these purges or waves or clearings or healings. Like, that's the divine. That's the energy, the high frequency energy bombarding our field, asking us to stay grounded and heal. Allow the memory and the backlog to come through us, right? Through in confidence. Right, of course, exactly. And it's all affirmative. It's all like confirming this deep knowing that's in us all, for us to really continue to step up and not give our power away, because that's so easily done on the path with the world, as just, I guess, moving from separation into unity, moving from fear into love. It's just this very deep, intense, emotional, layered process. And I do believe that we get to cycles, like I can feel this now, and I've known it intuitively. We get to cycles where we, oh, I want to say bass drop, but that's not quite. It's like where the bass tones drop off. So that's what I'm finally starting to feel into very tangibly, is that we will reach cycles in life where like those challenges are effectively transformed, i.e. the karmic cycles completing. And now we get to move into these more expansive realms, and it's just the reality of it is that it's not like it's not fluffy. It's just the challenges are deeper and bigger and broader, but there's more expanse for us to hold it. And then there's more community and alignment to help us to continue to create it in alignment. And I think for me, the journey, what it continues to offer is that it's real. It's not some dream we're chasing. It's for sure so much stored in us. Next level bass tone, yeah. So y'all can feel it, and then that's the intuitive reflection of like, right, we're not alone in this. There's an absolute intuitive, deep divine process happening within us. It's been going on forever, and the unity is that we're all showing up in this co-creative, unified way of this resonant connection. Bass jumping, bass jumping. Brilliant, exactly. Gotta love. It's so straight up, isn't it? The synchronicities are just like, it's hence the grids filling in the new reality, the implicate these rushes of like like, and it's awesome, it is really awesome. And there again, it's like I wanna stay connected with y'all, just to be like, okay, keep breathing, stay in the heart, like breathe through the intensity, stay grounded, do shopping, do simple things, use up your petrol to fuck the man one last time. You see, I'm lightly trying to work through that rage against the system, those edges about, so it's like, soften those edges now, let that go, and be willing to receive the love that we've been pouring out of our hearts for and that's because that's the paradigm shift now. That's us stepping into the love that we've been extending, and then all these deep layers and realizations that this collective wave is designed to assist in. Like now it's all slowly but surely making more sense. I know there's still a lot of information to come through for us. I'm not expecting it to shift overnight. There's still a collective timeline that we're walking into this, 2020 astrology, as it were, but we can feel it. And so I'm thinking just keep yoking the feeling. Let's keep following the love. Even when it feels heavy, it's so beautiful. Exactly, exactly. Like this is where I'm talking of like see how collectively we can affirm that we're like now really shedding layers of resistance, because we're actually now beginning to embody and trust and enjoy to a certain degree the new way of being. The new way of being, to me, in the simplest terms, is just us being, feeling, and compassionate to one another. Not the other. I can barely even grasp the other anymore, if I'm honest with you. Every once in a while, when necessary, obviously, I bump up against it, or I get like third party information about information that's going on in 3D matrix, whatevs, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, great. Let's keep grounding. Let's keep working. Let's keep shining light. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep extending hands, right, wherever we can. At the same time, staying in our sovereignty and our integrity, and trusting that how we're being guided is indeed the divine service that we're here to share and shine for the world, and that it is joy, in fact, not us going back in trying to fix everything. It's not. That's the old way, trying to fix and get all like, oh, climate change, oh shit, this is problems everywhere. Like that's that's us still in the entanglements, right? So our ability to just be in our presence. I hope I see like a bad dream. Legit like that. A couple of shares ago, I did the whole like where I just lay down and then had a vision of the straitjacket. Yeah, that's it. Our patterns are our bad dreams. It's our dark web karma. It's fractal. It's separation. It's stories and energetic loops and things that we got swept into through the vortex of creation, and we allowed it to happen, and we started to split ourselves up, right? And now we're in this phase of just pulling all of our creations back into the self and choosing to rise it up. It's all been prophesied anyway. Rise it up and yeah, being the new way of being. The paradigm shift is us feeling, much more deeply, much more expansively, holding space for the clearing, holding space for the shape shifting of riding the wave of the planet's um, shift, right? Her purge, her clear out. Um, mm, I love the puke emojis. That's another one I'm getting randomly a fair amount for my own, like some of the sensations coming through still. There's still that kind of just getting hit with exhaustion, and then there's still like I get waves of like nausea I feel as well as I integrate the higher. It's like it's very interesting to me how like resonant it is with like the partying days where like, or like even if you've ever done ayahuasca, it's a purgative. It like purges toxicity. It makes you want to vom. And I remember because when you're anchored in pretty good breathing techniques, you can usually breathe through it. But it's pretty like exhaustion and nausea all the time. Okay, good. As in affirmative, like affirmative, autumn love collective. The party purge, right, John? So this is just like I'm just breathing through this sort of like, but it feels like when you're coming up on ecstasy, you might get a like, so it's or coming up on the ayahuasca. It's like a similar. It's like I'm learning how to anchor in my physical body ecstasy vibrations, bliss vibrations, and it's continuously like bumping up against the density patterns, right? Life. Oh my goodness, that is a very accurate description. Life currently is following the flow of an extended ceremony. Oh my goodness. Like I hadn't even thought of it that way. But yeah, for sure. for sure. And it was leading to that anyway. Then that was like, oh my goodness, my ayahuasca ceremony was like the solar eclipse of 2017, and I'm aware now of like the certain patterns I've like integrated, culminated since then, and how we just had like the solar eclipse, yeah, in the southern hemisphere, and now all those patterns that were really kicking off are like closing, and now we're talking about psychedelics again, and I'm like, oh, how curious, how interesting. So yeah. So sending you guys lots of grounded, good vibes, knowing that we're doing great work here, and that vibrationally we're very much aligned and supporting one another and holding space for our visions to be unfolding. Um, and I appreciate you guys so much. So that is all. The shop is open. I'm going to put my angel wings on and endeavor to go in there and buy the supplies that I need for my Airbnb guests while I go away, which is, just so you guys know, toilet paper. See, this is the thing. I was gonna get bin bags, and I'm like, I think I can scrounge up some of those recyclable bags somewhere. Maybe even, I don't know if Tesco has one of those things. Oh, and like little tea candle things as well, because my son's not like a champagne. Anyway, that's me. I'm just getting near the end of the chat, so as you guys know, it's gonna take me about another 45 minutes to actually close it down. It's not. I'm actually gonna go shopping. But I just wanted to send you guys some love and grounded energies and lots of love and appreciation. Virtual hugs, virtual hugs. Have a great day, you guys. I love you loads. Peace out. Oh yeah, book readings and stuff like that. Muchos gratitudes. I love you guys. May the force be with you. Is that correct? May the force be with you? Or something like that? Surf's up? All of it. All of it. Peace out. Love you guys.